Pisces, welcome back for your December reading. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'd like to welcome you. If you are wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link that is directly below. Also, there is, with that link, it will take you through to the website. You can actually go to the booking section and it will take you through a number of steps. You'll get a notification. You'll also get a notification upon purchasing a booking to remind you of the actual date of the booking. Now, if for some reason I need to reschedule, trust the process because the information is going to be relevant to you at that given point in time. Lots of us have been tying up loose ends this month. Also, there is a shop directly connected on the website which has chakra related products, bath salts, etc. Gifts obviously for Christmas, depending on the postage that you're actually connecting. So be mindful of that with it. Generally within a couple of days I do post it, but I do wait for the bulk orders to come in so they can all go in one hit. But that should have a lot more forward motion in the new year, and there will be additions to the actual shop. If you do have any ideas as to what you would like on the shop, feel free to email me on the website. I will be adding chakra teas to the website at some stage. I am in communication with a company that will be providing me with the teas. Now, last month, a lot of what we dealt with was to do with owning our power and verbalizing how we felt. Now, our energies were two ways. For some of us that are generally quite verbal, we were more suppressed in our ways of actually handling the direct situation. For those of you who do tend to actually, hold your tongue and not speak your piece, it was vice versa, however you directly relate. Also, old energies did come through of home being relevant in some shape or form. Now, home could be you physically were renovating, or people were coming to the home, or people were moving from the home. Anything home related. It could be selling a home. So for many of you who have not tied up that aspect of home, that will be coming through and relevant as well this month. Again, I don't know why that's relevant, but, do comment. I love to hear your comments. Okay, your energy is strange, though. You've got to remember that the last 2 months of the year are going to be very, very energetic. So if you've been feeling agitated, out of sort last month, I do feel for many of us this will continue. Now, for obvious reasons as well. Dynamics connected to, the fatigue through the year. Also, the nostalgia connected to the process of what you've physically and personally gone through. That will be relevant and in highlight as well in the month of December. And again, for obvious reasons, not just from a psychic point of view. You've got Christmas, you've got New Year's Eve, you've got the reflection and the connections and the dynamics between family. Regardless of the naturalness of the scenario, it still is going to feel quite energetic, and the key is going to be to make sure that you're tying up all the loose ends necessary so that you can have a moment to actually just pause and try and accept the situations around these times for what they bring out. So even if it does look negative, you need to accept that dynamic because it's pulling triggers directly connected to what's necessary to purge. So if aspects of fights and squabbles are coming through, you need to accept the process and take it at face value and not try and sweep it under the carpet, because they're things that need to be communicated and experienced in order to have that forward motion. I do see you accepting family members really for the way they are and the way situations are. And I do feel you're going to have a few eye-opening moments where your perception of a situation is going to be very different to what it had been in previous years or times gone by. I see you looking at the situation a lot differently and having an aha moment, so to speak. Now, I do feel that you're really going to be called upon to have balance when it comes to your cash component. Now, you are very handy when it comes to aspects of cash and, you know, how to actually utilize it. I'm just wondering which card to pull. Bit undecided on that one. That's not like me. Okay, so for your money, we're going to pull some clarity cards. Oh, goodness. And for family, we're going to as well. Okay, I do feel that you're going to be very tired as well. So it feels as though you're going to have a lot of balls in the air and you're really trying to balance things. People are calling upon you, and although it's actually, you're happy that they're calling upon you, but you're going to have to pace yourself. So if people are getting you to run errands for them, or you're stepping in to assist family members, or working overtime, keep the balance there. There is going to be a positive outcome for you, I feel, on the monetary front. But you're going to, there will be gifts, I do feel, that you were not expecting. And this isn't just connected to Christmas, it's almost praises and accolades connected to your efforts that you've actually put into a situation, and people actually feeling that they really value you, even though you may physically feel they don't. There may be a letter or a bonus, so to speak, connected to gratitude. So it might even be someone just coming up and saying to you, at a Christmas party, for instance, Gee, you know, you don't know how much you actually mean to us, and you know what you've done for us. But this can be in any shape. For those of you who aren't working, it can be that you're working with family members and friendships where you're doing something for them or have done something for them, and they're showing a sense of appreciation towards you for all your efforts. And although you do it and you weren't doing it in a sense, it was more for you than them, I feel, but it will make you feel very surprised at their appreciation for you connected to this. Okay, general, okay, we'll use those. I've cleansed all the cards as per the way I do it every time. I will be getting some new cards in the new year. They may come through more in the twin flame videos and possibly from February onwards, but you never know. I might get them in the next few days and be able to use them. But I have had my eye on a few decks. Okay, what am I picking? Okay, I will be doing some of the readings next year differently, because the other day I was doing a reading and I did notice that the zodiac signs have split. So there is a percentage where I'm finding you're doing something in one way, and that's when we actually grow and we're doing the work and we're moving forward with our lives. But then there's others which are really unsure of that process and getting a little bit stuck connected to what they're needing to do. So my advice very much is, if you feel unsure about situations and the reading doesn't directly resonate with you, this may be more so, you know, an advice factor for you looking at other readers as well. Try and connect back to the previous month, because it may be that energetically you are a little bit behind on that due to blocks being present for you unable to move forward in certain dynamics. That's not to say the relevant energy isn't there, but sometimes it can delay it where it is a month behind. And you know, once you've completed aspects of that, it's like that scenario on top of the new scenario will be there. So although the best advice is to deal with the energies and the advice factors, you know, as soon as possible, and what your intuition is directly telling you to do, what you'll find is if you haven't done that, the next aspect of that month of what's coming through energetically will be there to deal with on top of what you already haven't. And that's sort of what has been happening with the home front. Now, many of you that are dealing with home-related issues, If this is at a financial kind of level, and I'm not a financial advisor, so this is more an aspect of the way to view the situation. If for some reason, emotionally speaking, you're having blocks connected to aspects of home, that will delay that process. So if, for instance, you had it on the market, but you have a block connected to it due to a connection you personally had, and you haven't come to terms with that aspect, it can actually block the road where it will be unable to be released into that stage of being released, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, from your money point of view, you're going to really have to have patience and understand that by you being... Be creative connected to what you need to do. Also, be patient for what you've put out to come back to you. There may be delays in incomes going into the bank at the correct time. Also, be patient with the scenario of what you're choosing to use. You may need to use during this time. But be patient connected to things coming back to you if you've loaned cash out. Just because... you know, it's New Year, Christmas, etc. It may arrive at that time, like right on the day, unfortunately. So please, there's a pre-warning basically. If you're waiting on an aspect of money and you're going to spend it prior to Christmas, what I'm seeing is it will arrive the day of Christmas. So please budget correctly so that you don't overspend and not have that amount there, because that will be frustrating to you if you underassess the situation and are ill prepared. Okay, an aspect of money really, I feel in a way you're looking at your life and you're either reliving an aspect of something that a parent figure has done. So it can be that you're financially, physically looking at this situation at a financial level. It can be due to a separation, in your opinion, but I'm feeling it stems back a lot further. And again, not all of you have separated, but it's a sense of your financial situation. Suddenly you're looking at it for what it is, but you're not wanting to, and it's physically looking at just this month. It's not permanently. It's the way you're viewing it at this point in time. You're somehow, in some shape or form, mirroring what your family did a while ago. So however this is relevant to you, this is what's being shown to me. You got to trust in your higher self that you have the tools. That, you know, if you do have a loved one that is passed over, they're going to help you to see the abundance in life and look at it from a different perspective, because sometimes we're only focusing on the finances, but sometimes we do need to walk away from money in order to have that spirituality where we're humble and we're grateful for the things we have, and there is richness in peace. So however this is going to directly relate to you, I do feel that a loved one who is passed over is going to help you have a perspective. And this could be due to the nostalgia coming through with Christmas and New Year, where you're visually looking at the situation, and it's you might be remembering words that they said to you in relation to life perspective, and you're reflecting back over that. And at times I do feel for some of you, you're wishing that this loved one was here with you currently, or was there to guide you with the strength and the perspective. Okay, in your family, in some shape or form, you feel they come to you, and in general they do, but it doesn't again have to be of a financial nature. You are their rock. So this can be brothers, sisters, mother, father, siblings, your own children, however this relates. They don't look at the way you're perceiving it is you're their rock, but you're their rock for many different reasons. It's not just at a financial level. Look at that from a different perspective, and I'm going to pull a clarity card on that only because I feel there's a deeper meaning to it. I feel you have an opinion of what you give, you should receive. And it's like, you know, that's not the case, but you're feeling that the only way they could love you is if you were giving them something in particular, but you don't understand the whole aspect of humanly who you are is what they love. Yet in some shape or form, you've learned something and you need to release that because they don't equate you to a bank. But you're not looking back over where this stems from. This is your opinion of yourself, not their opinion of you. And possibly because of your opinion of yourself, you're morphing it into a reality where you're co-creating aspects of your fear and projecting into these people where they're needing upon you unnecessarily. So if it's lavish gifts you're wanting to give them, understand that that's not what they physically look at you as. They're looking at you as wanting your company and actually having you in their world as a sense of importance, not that you equate to a bank or you have to give them something at all times. If you need to actually retrain that scenario where people have been taking too much and it hasn't been an even flow, there is going to be an offering of help from a person you have helped in the past. So it will bring the balance back, but try and maintain your mind in a sense of being grounded and your base chakra, I'm feeling. So you could actually, I will try and put some videos in a link connected to meditation videos so that the different chakra points, if you're needing to, and there's basically a chakra card that's coming up for you, you can go into that and you can listen and you can meditate to heal that aspect of chakra. Now your base chakra is, you know, connected to family and your sense of belonging, and blocks directly connected, I'm feeling in this given situation, directly connected to childhood. Okay, you have learnt a lot in your family and you're not a fool any longer. You do see situations for what they really are. And you have learnt a lot connected to who you were, and, you know, you've got this card in reverse. And it's about, you know, any flaws or any way you perceive a situation, try and look at the good and the bad in it, try and take a wise mindset connected to it and learn something from it so you can release that aspect, because you can, you know, I do visually see you sitting at a gathering, and it does feel for some reason, and this may only be for 50% of you, there is a gathering where you are physically outside. And this may be you're actually speaking outside before kind of going in. And it does feel, it could be Christmas, it could be New Year, or it could be a birthday. I just feel it's a physical gathering that you're at, and it feels you're having a light bulb moment and you're looking at a situation and you're watching like a fly on the wall, you know, everything playing out, and there's an overwhelming sense of gratitude connected to being able to physically be here. For some of you, you might have been unwell, or there may be a person external to you who has been unwell, and it's giving you the blessing of actually looking at the scenario and feeling incredibly grateful for what you physically have within this dynamic at this given point in time at this location. Okay, in your general life, you're not getting out enough and getting grounded. You've got this card in reverse, and it feels as though there is a place you're wanting to physically go to. Sometimes you have a sense where you're wanting to escape. There's also a person from overseas you haven't heard from in a long time, and it's starting to give you a bit of concern. You may wish to contact this person. If this is relevant to you, you will know the exact person I'm speaking about. Usually when situations like this come through to me, my highest advice is try to make contact, especially when this person has been on your mind for a bit and it's mentioned in a reading. Definitely the connection to telepathically, they're trying to say to you something's going on and they want to connect with you. And my highest advice is to please connect with them. Okay. All your pain that you've gone through this year won't be in vain. It has been for a reason, and it's definitely changed you. It's provided you with gratitude. It's also provided you with a new insight into what you're wanting in the new year. And any trigger points that do come up in December, trust in the process. I do feel a very nostalgic kind of vibe with you guys in your general life. Please go through those emotions and feel them naturally, and don't feel guilty for them, because you will be healed from the situation. It may be an emotional time, but it is a new beginning. We're moving into a number 2 year. So try and sweep out all that clutter in life, and don't put a damper on the new year of what it's to be. Set your intentions as a clean slate, because that's very much what this month is going to need to be, so that we don't, like I suggested, you know, for the 50-50 scenario, where some of us haven't been doing the work, therefore some of an aspect of a previous month's video, you know, of an energetic level, will stem over to the following month. You don't want to be doing that going into the new year. You very much want to be going in with the aspect of a very clean slate. So try and meditate and visually picture a white canvas, and it being, you have the pen, you have the canvas, and you're going to create a masterpiece. That is what's going to come through for you. But if all you can see is a black canvas, that's all you're going to get in the new year. So you have to set your intentions correctly. Okay, it is going to be a mystery, and at the moment you're thinking a lot of things in life have very much turned upside down, and you're having to start all over again. A lot of us energetically are feeling very anxious, and this can be because a lot of the sense of our knowing has been removed, because physically every aspect of our life in 2017 has been turned upside down and redone. And when I say it's been redone, it's because for many of us who felt that our jobs did not connect with us, we removed them and moved into different situations. For many of us where friendships no longer connected with us, we have removed ourselves from those given situations. Relationships, homes, opinions, purging of how we physically felt in relation to 2016 and 2017 and our lifetime. So the number 1 year has been a huge shift in a sense of us really doing massive healing. And it is already like we've had a massive tower event in a very gradual stage, brick by brick, through 2017, where now we're looking at it and the rubble has been cleared and only what is correct for us remains. But now we don't know what to do with that. And that's the fair. It's a bad thing, because now our foundations are completely stable and ready for the rebuild. And that's what 2018 is going to be about. And for many, for those of you who are single, you will find there is more possibility connected to relationships boding very well, businesses boding very well, the communication and the connection with people working very well. So it has more of a positive spin on it. I'll leave that there, because I was actually turning to something else then, but it was more a world event, and I'll leave that for a different video. Couples, what's going on with you guys? Now, like I said, if you're wanting a booking, I have blocked a few days out over the break. If there is no date time available and you need an emergency reading, please email me. I will get back to you as soon as possible. We can do a PayPal transfer, and we can either do a telephone or a Skype reading depending on where I am. Generally speaking, with my psychic readings, I do not need the cards. So I tap directly into your energy, and I can visually see where you are, what you're doing. I can tune into direct people who you're wanting to inquire about, and I can work with you at an emergency level that way. Please try to keep yourself grounded, and don't be lonely over Christmas. There's no need for that to happen. Fill your time. Pamper yourself. You try not to be in your head too much. Energetically, we will be. That's why I'm saying if you're needing an emergency reading and you can't find a space, please message me and I will be there for you. Couples. Okay, I feel like you guys are going to be all over the place, and it feels like there is a scenario where you're going with the flow, but you're also being called to go to different locations. Now, again, it may be directly linked to Christmas. It doesn't have to be. It can be running errands, shopping, family members calling upon you. It feels like you're getting frustrated over this and you're getting pulled in all directions. It might be a conflict of a location of where something is going to be. I do feel you just saying, yeah, whatever's going. But it is frustrating you. I do feel that on a particular date where a group is gathering, you're going to physically want to be elsewhere for some reason. And it might be you had all intent to be there for a very long time, but I do feel that you might wish to be somewhere else. And it may be that you do get physically fatigued around that time, not in a bad way, but more the lead up to that time has made you tired. Therefore, your expectations were to stay a lot longer, but you physically don't stay as long as you usually do. And this is due to you being tired. And I do feel you'll be quite content to go home, you know, and have some quiet time away from the hustle and bustle. So ending the Christmas and New Year cycle, I do feel you almost just embracing the hermit mode in some shape or form at different intervals of this month to recoup in readiness for 2018. Okay. Okay. I do feel there to be squabbles within your relationship, but it doesn't have to be that there's actually a dynamic going on in your relationship, because as I was tuning, I was feeling there is a lot of busyness. Now, you're either completely very independent, where you're happy to do your own thing, and around that time, energetically, both you and your partner aren't seeing eye to eye with situations. This can be due to schedules being pulled in different directions. It can be due to an issue that you guys have actually been dealing with. But I am feeling as though, and it's quite a strange feeling, when I was shuffling, it literally felt like you were single. So this can be for many reasons. It can be that you're actually considering an aspect where you are wanting to be single, or that you are displaying aspects of feeling that you are physically single. But this isn't a bad energy. This can actually be where you feel completely independent and very comfortable in your own skin, where you're happy for your partner to do what they need to do, and they're happy and they accept the fact that that's who you are, that you require a sense of independence within a unity. So okay, some aspects of the energy of both of you, you're suspicious of something, and you're thinking some aspect of what's going on at the moment is a little bit risky. This can be due to maybe a financial commitment that you're looking at. You've got to look back at your general aspect of the reading to see how this is going to directly relate. Or whatever you're pulling from this is the message that you're supposed to receive. Because even with all the readers on YouTube, who you directly connect to are the relevant messages for you. You will tune into the correct ones to go to. Now, some aspect of home is feeling very, very unstable at the moment. That can be the physical relationship or the home dynamic or the workload you're currently both experiencing around this time. And as I said, the last 2 months, we're feeling really horrible. So try not to take it personal. Try not to make any solid kind of decisions connected to relationships, or unless you feel drawn to. If you physically feel drawn to do something, then you had already made your mind up well and truly a long time ago. It is causing stress in the given situation, and it is making you feel vulnerable, but not because you're not independent. You are. It just feels in general you're not seeing eye to eye connected to things. So you're thinking an aspect of what's going on. And this could be your partner feeling this, because this is the middle energy between the two of you. Either because of the things you're internally going through, they're physically looking at you and thinking, can they trust you? What's going on? Why are you up in your head? You're very quiet. That's not like you. And it can be financial aspects that both of you are physically looking at, where you're thinking, gosh, you know, can this really be trusted? The situation has become unstable due to maybe a lack of communication. It can be that while you're quiet and you're processing, you're physically not communicating these aspects to your partner, so they're feeling sort of left out in the cold, in a sense of information and clarity. And due to that, it is causing stress. And it does feel things aren't moving as they should do. And that's I don't feel it's frustrating you. I do feel like you have made your mind up, connected to whatever you're dealing with. This is making either you or them feel vulnerable because no road has been chosen. You know, no solid decision or clarity connected to a dispute has been made, and that's frustrating. And as the advice was really for, you know, moving through to the new year, if you physically feel drawn to actually have a sense of communication with your partner or make solid decisions, you had already formed them and you were already ready to actually commit to those scenarios. So it is about tying up loose ends, you know, so that you can have that sense of freedom and move forward in the new year. Now, your partner is really wanting justice and balance, and some sort of clarity connected to this, where you're respectful enough to each other to communicate these aspects of what's personally going on. And they do care for you, and they are being genuine when even when it looks like they're not, they are. Now, even a sense of, if you're feeling it, and again, this is an example, this isn't stating that this is what's going on. If you've come to a place where both of you feel you're physically not happy, this is the integrity. This is the conversation that needs to be happening, where you're grateful for what it is, what it was, and you're having that physical conversation. That person may have changed, you may have changed, but have the integrity directly connected to whatever's going on currently in this month to speak your truth on both sides and actually deal with it directly. I will pull some clarity cards. Okay, in some shape or form, you may feel you're not trusting your partner. Something in the past might have happened. And it causes you, some of their kind of freedom does frustrate you. So when you look at it, it does frustrate you that they, maybe you had been doing so much that you're tired of doing it that way. And that's okay too. It doesn't mean to say that there is a huge dynamic going on in your relationship. It can physically just be that something has transpired and the communication has broken down. And that's really what I'm feeling at the moment is going on. Okay, there has to be a change of plans, and you know that. You just are meditating on how you can bring this conversation about so that you can directly deal with it to work out where you're both going to go from here. I can't win. Sun's coming up, sun's coming down. And your reading turned out to be a lot longer than I thought. Okay. Advice for you guys is you need to free yourself. So if this is from a financial situation, if it's from the physical relationship, it will be relevant to you if this is what you are physically currently thinking about. You know that an aspect of life has changed and you're not happy in a given situation. It doesn't have to be a honeymoon. It's in reverse. Aspects have changed that need to be dealt with. You need to deal with them face on. Okay, you have already let go of control-related issues, but it's like you've given up in some shape or form connected to something. Can be due to fatigue, can be due to lack of communication. In some shape or form, you're meditating, but you need to spring into action because all you've done is press the pause button on that, and that will frustrate you. Temporarily, it might be having time out connected to a misunderstanding, a dispute, or a decision being made, whatever that is. It's going to depend on how it directly relates to you. Some things you're tired of waiting for the change. You're physically peeved off with waiting for the aspect of the change, and that's why you're doing this. Okay, you're feeling you can't even attract the good luck at the moment, and you are wanting aspects of new to come in. So this can be physically a change happening within the relationship, or physically a change connected to the way in which you're both communicating, and a new way of doing things and a new road. It can be a new location. It can be a fresh start. And I'll leave it at that. And as I said, if you're needing a booking, you can go to the link and I will work with you directly with your energy. Chakra card. Knew I had to do something. Okay, what do couples need to focus on to get themselves grounded to help them work through this process? Okay, emotional balance. Okay, I would say you need to get a purple crystal, an amethyst, and that is to cleanse yourself. So anything cleansing related, as I said, I do have chakra related bath salts on there. You could buy the mini pack, which has all of them. But you need to detoxify in a sense of being able to look at this situation, because you run down, you're not looking at it from a very strong energetic point of view. And your emotional balance, again, that can be directly connected to family, which is a trigger point. So your base chakra, I'm feeling, is out at the moment. And again, you feeling grounded. So anything that is going to assist you with grounding, be it you go outside and you walk on the grass or the bare ground, to physically ground yourself and interconnect yourself by doing some breathing techniques. It's impacting you feeling spiritual, attractive, energetic. I'll leave it at that. Okay. 37 minutes, 38 minutes for singles. I should do that more often. Okay, split the deck. You guys are very concerned about money this month. Be very careful the way you balance it. But if you're co-creating it in a sense of thinking, gosh, am I going to get the cash? No, you're not, because you're panicking about it. So balance yourself, ground yourself. Look at creative ways you can deal with financial aspects. Is there something you could physically make? Is there something you have that you could give away or sell? Look at creative ways you can directly deal with the situation instead of looking at the physical wall and the block, because that is the problem, not the solution, if you get the drift. So stop panicking about what the past had and what you physically have today. Tomorrow is a new day and you can co-create that new beginning at a financial level. Sometimes when we actually have less, we're able to create more because we're more humble and we're more able to look at creative ways we can kind of manifest that cash component and move that those things forward. If you have had a breakup this year, for those of you who are single, stop crying over spilt milk. You have freedom now. You have a new slate. You have a new ability in the new year. It's boding very well for relationships. So if you aren't over this person and you're wanting them back, 2018 is boding well for reconnections. So stop panicking. Ground yourself. Okay. You're being critical connected to what transpired. You need to let that go. If you've been processing this for a long time, it's a burden you need to lay down. You need to stop psychoanalyzing it, and maybe the information will come to you at the correct given time. You still need to live. You still need to move forward and embrace the beauty of what you actually have around you. You do get concerned due to what happened in the past that is going to happen again, that you're going to lose everything you have, but you haven't lost yourself, and you were what people wanted, not your assets. Assets may have gone by the wayside due to connections you had in the past, but it does not define you. They are merely 3D visual things that come and go throughout all of our lifetime. But who you are to the core, you are breathing, you're living, you're walking. You have an ability to co-create those things in your new life in 2018. Try to focus on what you have, what you're going to build, and who you are today, because it's much richer. Financially, money is coming through. Make a wish, these things are flowing through to you. You want things to change in your life, and you are reflecting over the past, and that's very natural, being that we're coming to the end of the year and Christmas. But try not to live there, because if you're only making memories in the past, you have no memories in your future, and that would be very sad, because when you get to the future, if you're still doing this, you won't remember anything you've lived. Try and recoup and pace yourself, because this month's going to be very busy. Aspects of a betrayal within a family are going to come up into highlight for you. And this, I feel, will be, you know, something of a trigger point, and it's necessary for it to come. But you are actually healing from this aspect, and you do have the strength to move forward, and you have a different perspective connected to it. Okay, in some shape or form, there was a relationship or a financial start that come through where you felt it had possibility, and in some shape or form it didn't reach its maturity, and you're actually focusing on that as well. It can be, again, cash, but I don't know why a lot of us are focused quite heavily on the cash component at the moment. It might be because we're wanting to give, but if we don't have, we can't. So usually when situations like that happen, if there's blocks connected, it's not saying no, it's saying moderate or change your way of doing something. So for me personally, when I've had blocks connected like that, the way I've dealt with it is trusted the universe that there is a bigger picture at play. It can be connected to timing on a timeline. It can be connected to money coming in at the correct time, or to moderate the way in which you are handling certain situations. If it means you have no transport, therefore you have to creatively work out how to go about doing something. If it means you don't have money, you need to then creatively come up with ways you can do that. So it's building a new skill within yourself, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, let's see on a romantic level what's going on. Apart from processing at the moment, I do feel you guys are focusing on your health, focusing on grounding yourself, and I do feel the pause button is there. I do feel some of you have got somebody, and you are physically going to have a conversation with them. Now, this somebody is someone that may have been from the past. A lot of us in 2017 have been dealing with past-related issues. But the past-related issue doesn't have to be a person from the past. It can be your opinions of the past impacting the current. So you are going to have a conversation with someone. I do feel there are things that you haven't said as yet to this person, and they have said something to you. It might be an offer that they physically made, you're going to discuss this with them and place your opinion, and you're going to give them perspective connected to the way you physically see things. You now have learnt to love yourself first, because this was the advice, but it's in reverse. So it means you have learnt to do that because you're speaking your truth from your heart chakra. Some aspects of codependency is relevant in your romantic life. So in your opinion of that. So you need to look at old patterns and start directly working on them in December, because you want to remove that for the new year, for when your intentions are set. This can be connected to a previous connection you had with a person. You're thinking it is, but an aspect of it stems further back. Okay, it is directly connected to someone you did know, because you've got this card as well. Okay, so it is connected to someone who you did know before. And there may be somebody who is new coming into your life that you're directly dealing with. Most of the energy that's coming through is about you guys though. So I do feel for those of you who have met someone or have been working with someone in a relationship sense, it is feeling as though a lot of what's going on is processing as well. So a final decision completely hasn't been made. It's not to say that you're not seeing someone or that you're not communicating with someone. For 50% of you, you're physically doing the healing work and just enjoying the here and now and trying to make it through to 2018. For the other half of you, I do feel you're really working with a person who is asking for another chance, where you're still dealing with aspects of hurt. So it's either the person's asked you for a second chance, or a person has come into your life and it's triggering aspects of a past tense situation. So please do tell me how these relate. I'll pull a chakra card for you to see what you need to deal with. But if you're in two minds and you are directly dealing with past related issues, watch both the couples and the singles, because it'll have energy for you on both sides. Okay. So your chakra is out, but you're working on it because it is in reverse. So I will try and put the meditation videos in there for the meditation purpose. If you need a reading, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.